Boom. This meeting is being live streamed. Whew. Okay, what is going on, everyone? It looks like we are live on YouTube once again for another Monday. That's so many consecutive Mondays in a row. And if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. This is the Monday night stay at home open mic. I had to mute myself. I have a monitor here with the YouTube channel running. Thanks for tuning in. This is brought to you by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series based out of El Paso, Texas, here on the US-Mexico border, Southwest US. We're rocking Mountain Time, but we have a full list of people rocking from all over the world, from all over the country. We're gonna go from East Coast to West Coast to Central. We're gonna head north and south, all over the place, and we're gonna discover a lot of the beautiful similarities that we have, and just also learn new things from people. I think that's one of the beauty of sharing art like this. And so it is very poetry heavy, but as always, you guys are welcome to bring prose, music, freestyle, dancing, anything that your mind can come up with. Each performer has about 5 to 7 minutes to do their thing. I'm usually the host, but tonight I'm gonna hand it over to Kit, and Kit's gonna take it from here. But I do want to encourage you guys a couple of things. So if you can, follow us online, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, just to be kept up with future dates. In addition to online mics, we have been doing open mics in person again. While we can, well, it's still safe to do so. We'll follow any guidelines that encourage us to do otherwise, follow any safety regulations. But we're gathering. It's been really nice, doing special events as well, poetry workshops and readings and writings and all that kind of stuff. So follow us online to be kept up with all of that. Also, if you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, click like, share, all that stuff. I know that's cliche to say, but the reason why I encourage you to say that is because we are very much an underground art organization. And the more that people share, the more people get to see and maybe get to experience not just the program, but of course, your voices, all your art. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and shut up and pass it over to today's esteemed host. He is one of, I have called him a BWOMS legend. He's helped so much in such a short amount of time, and I can't imagine these nights without his help. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go and welcome tonight's host, Kit Wren. Take it away, man.
Thank you so much, Richie. The sun has made its way to its home in the western sky, and it's Monday night in El Paso. And I want to open with a couple of covers, two covers by people who are in this very room. One of our first friends that we made from far away was, I first saw him at a mic in Spokane I was invited to. And if any of my Spokane people are watching, Jenna, Zachary, Kaya, Carrie, hello. And he read this poem and it made an instant impression on me. This is From Squirrel to Eternity by General Brian Franco. I saw a squirrel with a pine cone in its mouth, twice the size of its head. The squirrel had torn apart the pine cone, so it didn't look like a pine cone. It looked primal, but the squirrel was fluffy and cute. I thought to myself, that primal and cute never happened at the same time. I needed a picture. I walked around the corner and the squirrel was just sitting there in the shade under a bush on a 92-degree Maine July afternoon. I lifted my phone for the photo. The squirrel dropped the pine cone into his little paws and yelled, "Hey, motherfucker! I don't give you permission to take my photo or take film of me to make a fucking meme that you can show to your human friends. Will fucking laugh at it and post online." He put the cone in his mouth and jetted fast as fury, dodging and weaving a bevy of pine trees like a Heisman Trophy winner. He took shelter in a group of sculpted yews. I knew I'd never get the shot. I walked away, and a pine cone that must have been flying 100 miles per hour hit the middle of my bald spot. As I lay in the grass, concussed and dizzy, the squirrel walked over to me, crossed his arms over his Ernest Borgnine From Here to Eternity barrel chest, looked me square in the eyes and said, "Take a photo of this motherfucker." You will be hearing more from Brian later in the show. And another person I wanted to pay tribute to and highlight, because while this online thing has expanded our footprint. It's also deepened our footprint. There were people who were reluctant or unable to come to our live mics, who were able to dip their toes through this digital setup. And now their whole body's in it. And this person, Lee MS, I am deeply privileged to call them a friend and to read what I think is an incredibly ambitious thing. This is, I apologize if I mess up the Nahuatl here. This is entitled Chingamiklan. I'll float in the abysmal blue of souls who cross the river, one after other and another, floating on the eternal expanse while preparing myself for the following form that I will take. They will guide the body's way with their hands, a passerby paralyzed before the abyss full of celestial eyes, observing the passage of time. I believe in a cycle of life and decay, of everlasting transmutations, where what made us who we were is etched onto dying stars. I'll leave the parts of me behind that failed to permeate the obsidian mountains. They will feed the soil I once walked upon, and the stories I wrote will be carried by the icy winds of the last breath of this sore body, changed by the place where flags fly high, the origin of our nature to do war, pierced by the definite arrows. I believe in a cycle of life and decay, of everlasting transmutations, where what made us who we were is etched onto dying stars. I shall feed my beasts, the heart held in my hands, a blood offering, skin and bones, until there is nothing left, and I permeate the rocks stranded in the nothing, until I find my way to the final resting place before we start again. I believe in a cycle of life and decay, of everlasting transmutations, where what made us who we were is etched onto dying stars. And you'll be hearing more from them later in the night. But now it is time to begin the show proper. But before I do that, the lawyers are on my case about something. So I need to tell you that due to having signed a non-disclosure argument with a certain party currently attending this Zoom session, and we cannot reveal who that is due to the non-disclosure agreement, under penalty of which he cannot reveal due to the non-disclosure agreement, our gentleman can't reveal what he wants to reveal. So we'll just have to settle for what he chooses to reveal. Coming up to the microphone is Generalissimo Brian Franca.
Shalom, everyone. I wish I could tell you, but you know, the cost is too severe. We will read a new poem that I wrote recently called Tag, I'm It. Your incessant gossip is graffiti on the garage door of my existence. Where did you find the paint you used? Did you drive to Canada to buy a barrel of tar sands oil, then buy several gallons of concentrated pigment from the Sharpie Corporation to make sure that even after I proved everything you said about me was untrue, it will be permanently imprinted in the minds of everyone we knew? Score one for you. I hope none of your homemade paint has stained your soul. If you do wake one day with bitch tattooed across your forehead, you most assuredly did it to yourself while sleepwalking. Okay, let's see what I have next. Oh, yes, this is my little poem that derived from our eclipse. Why was the moon red last night? Maybe his brother dared him to eat a whole Thai chili pepper at a Vietnamese restaurant, Or maybe he stupidly ordered ghost chili pepper chicken wings that required him to sign a legal release form in case he got a heart attack. Or maybe after painting a dining room accent wall red, he stepped off the ladder, lost his footing, and did a faceplant into the wall. Or maybe he was blushing because the son, who he had a crush on, smiled, then whispered, "Hey, Mooney Pie," into his ear. I'll go with that one. Let's see what we got here. A man meets a gun. It sits atop the table. He is hesitant to touch it. It is ice cold to the touch. The single second he felt his palm hug the handle, the exact moment he allowed his trigger finger to finger the trigger, he felt the whites of his eyes lose their bloodshot. At the practice range, he aimed his new possession at a life-size human-shaped piece of cardstock paper with bullseyes printed on face and chest. He knew he held a new power. He knew he held the power to end the life. He also knew better. There were times he wanted more bullets and a larger magazine, an opportunity to write his own story, more power. This one is called Adding Machine. We never seem to add up. Like when someone hands you an abacus when you've been using calculators your whole life, or when every watch and clock in the world suddenly dies, and now you must read shadows on sundials, which requires an innate sense of direction. There are people who live their whole lives in New York City and never cease feeling lost when they exit a subway tunnel to the surface world and need to find their way around. Our lips seemed to fit like tongue and groove when we kissed, but our minds were two magnets cut from the same poles. Passion was glue, thought was solvent, conversation became the application thereof. And let me see, just do what happened after I ordered tamarind duck with pineapple, snow peas, broccoli, and onion. The hot tea at the Thai place has a slight edge of vanilla to it. It's not sweet, so I think I'll ask the waiter if they have honey. I asked about the tea, and he brought out an unopened cellophane package of loose tea from Thailand. There was no honey in the kitchen. Vanilla flavor was the only other ingredient than tea listed on the packaging. The vanilla tastes weird. Maybe after I finish my dinner, I'll go by the gelato place for an apple cinnamon sorbetto and hazelnut gelato frap. Then again, maybe I won't. And, oh, yes, I'm just going to read some food haikus from my workshop I did last Thursday with vocabulary. I once tried making peanut butter and jelly in a George Foreman. Grilled cheese Sammies will stretch as far as your imagination. Sometimes there ain't a more perfect perfection breakfast than biscuits and gravy. Oh, by the way, I spelled biscuits, B-I-S-K-I-T-S. The Egg McMuffin was created as a new type of Eggs Benedict. And finally, I prefer to eat mint chocolate chip ice cream without any chips. Thank you, everyone.
Right. Thank you, Brian. If the people watching this want to see more of you, where can they find that?
Well, first of all, my book was supposed to arrive in the mail today, but due to Louis DeJoy, it may not arrive for another 3 weeks. But no, I'm just saying he has made a statement that you should never expect your mail to get on time ever again, is what he said.
Oh, he's a beautiful man.
Yes, he is. But let's go ahead and say that hopefully it'll come tomorrow or Wednesday. Everything I think is all in my mind. Published by Red or Green Books. We had a soft launch of 10 different authors this past weekend, which was absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure if any of the other people are in here tonight. I think I saw Nick's name. He's one of the next 10. Next, and Gigi, course, Gigi. Is Gigi here?
Yes, she is.
I'm always here, man. It's barbed wire. Come on.
Gigi is
Must be.
Gigi is my favorite chauffeur. That's a private joke. Okay, so next, yeah, and then on Sunday, I'm going to be featuring at Run Your Tongue in England, which is at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern time. And I have several other things over the next several months. And I'll put everything into the chat. And I'll get out of your way so you can hear some good poetry tonight. So thank you very much.
Like a shark, he can't stop moving. The General Brian Franco.
Or good poetry. We just heard good poetry.
That's true. And we're going to hear some more because coming up next, you just heard from him out in the wilds of Denver. Coming up next to the microphone is Mr. Michael Sindler. Pay no attention to those coyotes in the distance.
That's right. I have no idea where that came from. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and get it out of the way. Obviously, we're coming up to Thanksgiving, and something that I am always thankful for is Lighthouse Writers Center here in Denver and everywhere, thanks to the miracle of the internet, lighthousewriters.org, all kinds of classes and workshops and free events, just so much stuff going on, just cannot recommend highly enough. And obviously, I'm incredibly thankful for this venue and all the wonderful open mics and workshops and everything that have happened on Zoom over the last almost 2 years now. Jesus, it's been so long. But when we, a lot of us are already, getting into the whole Thanksgiving thing. Some of us have already started working on food, and just remember that while we dig into our Thanksgiving feast, some people are eating quite a bit more frugally. And this is called Food, Not Bombs in the Park. Food, not bombs in the park. Homeless hover like pigeons, waiting for seeds or crumbs, always wary yet relaxed. Bundled blankets and packs hold whole lives, circling aimless migration around and around, from station to station and park to park, huddling in the dark and cold, grasping for purchase, too rare to hold. And unfortunately, here in Denver, things are, as usual, not good for the homeless population. But moving on, this piece is called Harvest Dance. Candle flame, light this space, feel the warmth, feel the grace. Hands grasp hands, circle forms, vase of phlox, earth adorns, flute, fiddle, lute, and horn, dance begins, falls reward, harvest done, shortened sun, cool seasons, warm largesse. And seeing how everyone has their own recipes, but this is my recipe for Thanksgiving. Preheat emotion to near boil. Combine standard nuclear family or closest approximate with assorted cousins, uncles, aunts, husbands, wives, lovers, friends, neighbors, and associates into a too small household. Knead together into clumps in living room. Bathe with combustible radiation from competing TV sports events, news shows, and personal devices. Transfer a conglomerate into dining room. Pepper and spice concoction with inflammatory conversation, including but not limited to politics, sex, and religion. Add excessive amounts of alcohol. When fully marinated and scrambled with assorted intoxicants, add large dollops of innuendo and recrimination. Let simmer for an entire evening until whole dish is spoiled. Stash all ingredients into memory to forget or stew on for remainder of year. And on that note, I will put on the hat and see what we can do here. I'm just, as I was saying, I'm not going to do the poem I normally recite for people every year, which is William Burroughs' Thanksgiving Prayer. So y'all can just go look that one up on your own and read it. I'm going to read Eggs and Sausage in a Cadillac with Susan Michelson. Nighthawks at the diner of Emma's 49er. There's a rendezvous of strangers round the coffee urn tonight. All the gypsy hacks and the insomniacs. Now the paper's been read. Now the waitress said, eggs and sausage and a side of toast. Coffee and a roll. Hash browns over easy. Chili in a bowl with burgers and fries. What kind of pie? Yeah. It's a graveyard charade. It's a late night masquerade. And it's 2 for a quarter, dime for a dance. Woolworth's rhinestone diamond earring and a sideways glance. Now the register rings. Now the waitress sings. Eggs and sausage and a side of toast. Coffee and a roll, hash browns over easy. Chili in a bowl with burgers and fries. What kind of pie? Yeah. Now, well, the classified section offers no direction. It's a cold caffeine and a nicotine cloud. Now, touch your fingers lingers, burning in my memory. I've been 86 from your scheme. Now I'm on a melodramatic nocturnal scene. Now I'm a refugee from a disconcerted affair. Now the lead pipe morning falls. Now the waitress calls. Eggs and sausage, another side of toast, coffee in a roll, hash browns over easy. Chili in a bowl with burgers and fries. Now what kind of pie? A la mode, if you will. Just come in and join the crowd. Time to kill. Yeah, you see, I just come in to join the crowd. Had some time to kill. Just come in to join the crowd because I had some time to kill. Okay, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
And to you too, Michael. Thank you so much for that. That brought back some personal memories for me for various reasons. Now, like I said at the beginning, I want this to be about paying tribute to all of our friends and regulars, but there are several ways that one can pay tribute. So, coming up to our digital stage, known to us affectionately as Deadpan Lizzie, but if you want to be formal, you can call her the Beanie God. Please welcome Elizabeth Strauss.
Thank you. And you are now officially a member of the Beanie Mafia, which Michael Sindler is also part of. I love the Beanie. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you hosting, Kit. For the potluck prompt, I wrote a poem called Family Dinner. We congregate around our Zoom dining room tables, feasting on each other's soul foods, textures from around the globe nourishing our minds and hearts, grateful for the time we spend together, discovering new flavors as our tongues salivate with each consonant and vowel, never taking for granted this bliss. My spoon on standby, ready to scoop up each other and every one of you. Grateful for the beautiful artists who I've been able to take a bite out of in person. My stomach excitingly growling for those who I have not been able to enjoy a meal with in person just yet. But in time, as the world opens back up, our tables will be full again, fuller than we ever could have imagined. I am grateful for each and every one of you. And I will close with a final poem called First Kisses. The smile that gently reflects as your heart beats a mile per minute. The stars have aligned as chemistry continues to illuminate. Your feet somewhat planted on the ground as they float up to cloud 9. The air of the city pushing you closer together. Your shyness slowly kicks in. Do you make the first move? Do they? as you gaze into each other's eyes. Fingers fiddle as you approach your destination. Do you go for it, or does the magic continue to circulate for more mysterious nights, playing hard to get? The moments that lead up to a first kiss, that when you reach a certain age could possibly be your last one. The excitement of knowing these could be the last first lips to grace mine. The smile that gently reflects as your heart beats a mile per minute. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lizzie. And if the people want more of that, where can they see you and find you?
Thank you so much for having me, Kit and Richie. If you want more, I have like 10,000 poems on my Tumblr. So if you go to elizabethsophiastrauss.com, you can scroll through and find them all there, my link tree and everything else I do. Thank you so much.
Wow, I don't think I know 10,000 poems. That's
When you get your heart ripped out of your chest, you write a lot.
that's true enough. That is very true. Thank you again, Lizzie, for sharing. And coming up to our microphone next, we're going to go to the foot of the Allegheny Mountains, and I'm going to let you all in on a little secret. Our next performer is a turnip. Don't tell anybody, okay? That's just between us. But coming to the stage next is our favorite turnip, Vale Larkin.
You know, I forget the shit I type on those forms. Okay, I'm going to do a couple covers of people who are here. This first one is, obviously, they're a fan favorite. Apologies. Obviously, they're a fan favorite, Lee Martinez Soto. And the poem is Anathema. I want to know of the curse buried in my blood, cut deep to exorcise the remnants I have inherited, to know the words, incantations, invocations, to howl at the night, the blood ritual to follow, so the curse ends with me. Bind these demons within me. They were bound here. In me they'll end. And I'm going to read one more from this book right here by Propaganda Poet. And this is called Red Sails in the Morning. Winter is here. It's the storm of the year. Self-interest snowflakes bury us in white privilege blizzards, leaving us all snowed. Recent statistics show the primary provider of mental health services in America is the prison system. There are so many things to unpack in this fact that I don't even know where to begin to start to get to the heart of the matter. Perhaps we should probably process this constant blockade to progress that might just be forcing us to lose our focus. It would appear red is the perfect color. For anger and fear are like flypaper for the emotionally and morally bankrupt, so easy to corrupt. When America is in a red state of mind, here is what we find. Toxic masculinity is just part of the scenery. A woman's body is just another commodity. Because we demand better, somehow we're the oddity. Accountability is an endangered species, as are truth, logic, and reason. And treason is just another day at the office. Well, it might appear that blue is part of this fight. The ones who still win always seem to be white. How can any of this be right? This machine is no mystery. It's got us ignoring our history. This has all gone much too far. We've lost important impressions, forgotten our Scooby-Doo lessons about who the real monsters are.
Yes, that was excellent. Very good.
Right. All right. Okay, thank you so much for that, Vale. Is there where can the people find you if they want some of your stuff? Your stuff is also great.
At Vale Larkin, all one word, VAYLLARKIN on Instagram. Thanks.
Yes. Vale Larkin, remember the name, remember the pronouns. They are something to be reckoned with. Coming up next to our wonderful digital space. Okay, not here, not here. Hang on, let me refresh. Okay, coming up next is someone we haven't seen in a little bit, but it's always great to see to see her. And I'll let you. And coming straight from Harlem, we have Vexed Lex. Vexed, welcome back.
Thank you. I know it's been a while since I haven't been here. I'm glad to be back. All right, so I have 3 pieces today. First one is short. It's called Ode to My Voice. I was born into a whisper, faint, made to be unknown. I grew into a murmur, quaint, destined to speak alone. A stutter through the awkward years, so much restraint and inhibition I could not condone. The young timid girl who had to realize she had the choice that one day she would become a voice. My next poem is called Couples Counseling with My BPD. I'm sorry about all the rescheduled appointments, I tell the counselor. I try to mask my disappointment. I finally got them to come with me. You see, they say, she is already putting the blame on me. So what brings you two here today? Well, they say, she uses me like a crutch, that when things are overwhelming and life seems too much, I'm always the reason. Well, you are the reason. I don't believe in myself. You take hold of me and cause me to second guess my thoughts. You taught me that everyone is meant to leave. They are, don't you see? And the end of it all, the only one to stay is me. I don't know who I am because you're all there is to know. Whose fault is it really that you can't let go? Do you know what it feels like to not be seen? Do you know what it feels like to not be seen? To always take the blame for this life that you created. If you never existed, I would be elated. Because from heartbreaks to minor inconveniences, I can't help but to be devastated. Life is what you make it. I am more you than you realize. Get your head out of the clouds and accept what's right in front of your eyes. You see, doctor, our arguments go nowhere. I'm fighting with myself like some kind of freak. The counselor finishes jotting down her notes. So, same time next week. And my last poem is called Good Times with Toxic People. We have gathered here today to reflect on the memories that refused to leave and the people who did not hesitate to. A toast to some of the best times with some of the worst people. It's a shame that we had to part on less than amicable terms. We are left to reminisce and reflect on moments that we cannot seem to part with, no matter how much hatred still lingers or hope that still manages to creep its way in. Is it possible to fully move forward, even when you remember the laughter? There was love, whether it was real or imagined, reciprocated or one-sided. Can we really fault another if we are the ones who choose blindly to see what is no longer there? See what has never been there. What matters is that we made it this far. So here's to those who will remain in the past, will soon become the past, and those who will claw their way out of it. Thank you.
Surely it should be me thanking you. What a great set. Thank you. Thank you, Lex. Where can the people find more of you on this here internet?
You guys can find me on Instagram at VexLexPoetry. That's where I post a good amount of my stuff.
All right. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And okay, we have a couple people who aren't here. Hopefully they find a little crumb trail and make their way back to our little house. But coming up next, we have the Koki poet, Ray. So if you're asking who did this next set, it was Ray. Ray did this.
Actually, I think me and Ray are switching spots.
Oh,
So I'm gonna jump in because Ray needs to get ready. He didn't know that the team was too. So,
okay.
but
Okay,
So,
even better. His roommate's away, so he gets to play, and we all benefit. Here is the propaganda poet.
I want to thank the universe for it just happened to make tonight the night that he was gone, which is weird because he wasn't supposed to be. And this theme tonight is amazing, and this community. I've had a really bad couple weeks, guys, and so many of you have reached out to me, and I just can't thank you all enough for letting me be a part of your universe. So I'm going to start with a few micros from people, and then another one after that. So this first one is from someone I don't know. Some of you may or may not know, K.R. Morrison, an amazing, amazing, amazing person, amazing poet. Her book Cauldrons is available on Amazon. She is just ridiculous. So I'm going to read you a micro poem out of here called Sacrament. If he's not careful, all these hurting girls with moon cycles will collect their monthly red juju into mason jars like magic ruby bullets. She will phase him away with buried poppets, armed and charmed. He will end by her holy blood. That's K.R. Morrison. Cauldrons is the book. Amazing. Jump, buy that on Amazon. This next one is by some people who aren't here, but I'm sure you all know them. This is a collaboration micro that they didn't even know they wrote. They were just both speaking on a platform, and this was part of each of their interviews that I combined into one poem. So this is a collab micro by Lacan and Andrew Meerkat. This is called Man Up. The pain that you produce is the capitalism of your body. Quite frankly, I have more life to live. Today, I will choose a different way. Breaking toxic masculinity, one I love you at a time. We carry the divine. And then this next micro, I live like 45 minutes from Kenosha, Wisconsin. So this next poem, I'm very, very proud exists, and I'm even more proud to read it. White tears, AR-15. Not guilty. Ray did that. That was Ray. So, and then if you could share screen, can I share screen? I'm going to go ahead and share screen because I cannot cover this next piece. You guys just have to see it to believe it. This next piece is by our very own incredible Vale Larkin, working with the incredibly insane ASL performer Crom Sanders. And you better be ready for this because here it comes.
Uh,
There is no sound. There's not supposed to be any.
That was written by the amazing Vale Larkin and interpreted by the incredible Crom Sanders.
That was incredible. All right.
Thank you all so much
That was
for
astounding.
being a
Thank
part of
you
the
for
universe,
having
man. Just thank you. Thank you
I
for
love
being a part
that.
of everything.
Love you, man.
Love your propaganda.
Yes, that was outstanding. Thank you for bringing our attention to that. It required our full attention. That was amazing. But we got nothing but amazing. There's no weak spots on this lineup. Coming up next from the wilds of Massachusetts, so wild there's an exclamation point. We have a very exciting, it's very exciting that our next reader is the lovely Gigi. Please step to the mic.
Hello. Hi, I'm like so
Hi there.
excited. I've never heard of a poetry potluck before. I have three poems tonight from three very amazing poets, and I'm not gonna lie, it feels like kind of like I'm teasing. If you guys want to see my stuff, you can now buy my book on my website at arcadian-poetry.com. You can follow me on Instagram at iron_resilience. And so you can see some of my wonderful work, but you don't get to hear any tonight. So let's get into it. All right. So the first one is, I'm going to read it first. I'm going to tell you who it is. So it's a nice micro poem. It's, I am no longer the broken. I am the fixing. And that is Ray did this. And then the second poem I have tonight, I don't think they're here, Nathaniel Beck. So we turn our arms into timber, trying to get so much light out of these palms. Another burning of the candle, the sheets, the bed, the stumbling of our bodies, learning to walk over each other like it is the first time again. We try to soak it all in bourbon, so our skin won't remember us in the morning, so we won't remember us playing out our moments in reverse, sounding so eerily familiar, like this is a eulogy for everything we leave here in the dark. That's by Nathaniel Beck. And then this next one is by the wonderful Stormy Amanda Ashley Nueva. So follow her on Instagram. She's amazing. Okay, let's get into it. Miracles of rage. Miracles of rage. Say love yourself louder. Miracles of rage, say, my dear, it's time now to sway softer. Shake loose frustration, shake loose retaliation, needing to make revenge sing pretty, sing artsy, sing songs, terrified of rolling off tongue, drowning in blood. For the young, the hopeless, the helpless, addicted to recklessness, do not make muses of your mess. Instead, handcraft a beach towel. Admire wild waves, bring forth miracles of rage at your feet. Caress sweetly, flesh of baby, sensitive to salt, miracles of rage remind you that this was never your fault, but it is your responsibility. Caressing sweetly, flesh of baby, strung on sugar, white things never assured anything good, anything godly except the moon. Miracles of rage, bring back all that shit you thought you done forgot, shit you thought you done getting lost in. Miracles of rage, tell you, stop running off stage. These kids need what you have to say, need hope for a brighter day, just like you. Just like worn out shoes, cold, lost, confused, overused, just to prove you can survive this poem, just to prove you can survive our demons with miracles of rage. Love yourself louder. Carve out time to play instead of scriptures on wrist, instead of walking up to fist, instead of tongue drowning in blood. Out there, somebody's son calls me, his miracle of rage calls me the page he's afraid to proofread. Say it's not his job to look after me, and he's not wrong. My song of miracles, my song of rage, march to one woman's parade, claim to be sorry. But how many times have we heard this? How many times have we looked for grace in abusers that are self-portrayed? How many can I say I'm bored of this game, but have little means to escape? Show me how to structure faith into this lifeless body. Show me how to embody this miracle of rage. That was so wonderful to read your guys' poetry. I love you guys so much. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday too. So,
Right. Well, you get back the love you put in. I think the Beatles said that, but they said a lot of things. Gigi, where can the people, do you have a website to share for people to order your book yet?
I do.
That
Yes,
was
if
in
you
the
go
works.
on, if you go on arcadian-poetry.com, I'll put it in the chat. There's a cute little Google form. If you fill out that Google form, I will lovingly shove a book into a packet and I will ship it to your house. And all of your money goes to supporting queer art. It's me. I'm the queer. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
What a wonderful sign off. Oh, thank you so much for your presence, Gigi. Good grief. And coming up next, we have someone, didn't realize this theme would sort of inadvertently shut out new people, but we welcome every new person. We pull up a chair, we put your shoes by the fire, if that's what you want, not in the fire, that would be rude. But a neighbor of ours from Tucumcari, New Mexico is here. He is a queer poet from New Mexico, and his poetry has been published in over 30 lit journals and magazines, over half a dozen countries. So he's already quite a traveler himself, and his name is Levi. Please take the mic when you're ready.
Thank you very much, Kit. Like he said, I am from Tucumcari, New Mexico, and I'll be reading 3 poems for you tonight. The first one is entitled Redemption. How we remember, what we remember, and why we remember form the most personal map of our individuality. Christina Baldwin. Forgive me, Father, but I am not a dying age. Not a lopsided heart cage you pretend to enter, where all you'll find here is barbed wire, the rotting stench of heartbreak meat, a dusty eulogy that was never read, But instead, you'll find the polished gleam of another, the intoxicating embrace of a soulmate, a masterpiece ending to the story written by the stars. Forgive me, mother. But I am not a post-dated check or reserved royalty, a loveless egg sac, the hen abandoned, a token black hand that you shake but you know is dirtied, a chuckle in your frog throat by the mere mention of my affliction. No, I am a welcome tourist in the land of embrace, a carpenter with sculpted words and enduring tools a mother would be proud of. Forgive me, brother, but I'm not a cobblestone staircase, an ancient walk place you have to bear. It's a troubled trod for you, isn't it, brother? A beckoned godless terrain your feet must endure, a callous journey you'll never want to take again. But I am a pillowcase yellow brick road, a foundation, a pathway that will lead you home. Forgive me, sister, but I am not a lost cause with a simple clause, a freckle-nosed brother you cherished once in a daydream. I was never par for your course, always coarse in a smoothened gesture of compassion, hollowed in ways I never understood until now. Forgiveness must be earned, and I am not graphite in your lead-penciled world. I will write my signature among every other on earth. In a book, eternity will remember. In a book, eternity will read. Thank you. That was published in the HIV Here and Now Project by Michael Broder. Let's see. This one is entitled A Love Story. Be calm. Don't panic, you said. Well, remember the Copenhagen stain on your skirts I left? The coat of faux fox fur freedom I bought you and became a queen's ego for a Wednesday. Remember the comatose sidewalk you remember tripping on, falling for, as if embracing your downside, as if forgetting your loyalty to me. Stay calm, don't panic, you said, as if love were a replacement for a plaything, as if acorn squash with brown sugar and a glass of red Chateau wasn't your favorite meal. As if our first kiss meant as much to you as the passing of leaves, a portrait of a stranger, the cabbie forgetting his fare. Keep calm, don't panic, you said. Because love is a camel toe, an intriguing pocket of desire. Look, but don't touch, you said. Smell, don't taste, you said. But a plump apple will always look delectable. I remember the fog that day, as thick as the water, as coarse as latex paint, as smooth to breathe as your hair after you've been jogging, but there was no fog in the air. Only the blink pink of midnight sonnets, the spice of decompressing poetry, melancholy time. If the Bible were our sex book, God would forgive me of my sins and my reproductive democracy. Spit on me and I'll bleed. Kill me and I'll forget your laughter. Fuck me one more time and I'll never speak of this again. Be calm, don't panic, you said. Be calm, don't panic. Remember that the fog is forever in my favor, and our love story is forever a fairy tale, never read. Be calm, don't panic, I say. Thank you. I got one more. This was published in the Elephant Journal. I can read it on the screen. Hold on one second. Okay. This is called To the 25-year-old bully at work who thinks God hates me too. This one's for you. Your hands remind me of Hitler's. The way you parade around the office, high-fiving your white heterosexual friends as if saluting a bunch of neo-Nazi fifth graders at a playground. You walk with a strut around the office as if goose-stepping is a form of masculinity people actually find attractive. Well, I don't. You claim God is on your side, yet your fists are like anvils when you place them on my desk, as if you're pressing down on my chest while you test the waters of this pansexual parasite, trying to scare me into a submissive river of righteousness. Yet I will not sink into your murky, cowardly waters. I will not baptize myself into your false beliefs. You see, I can smell the white supremacy on your breath, and your homophobic tongue lashes out so often I can taste the leftover bits of flesh from the backs of others you have beaten in the air. And when you walk into the room, a haze of forgotten gaze still lingers in the atmosphere. But I will not fear you. Nor will I swallow your shotgun barrel fingertips every time you point them in my direction of my lips to hush me, in hopes the back of my head flies off. No, I will not back down. I'll stand up for every homosexual, bisexual, transsexual, and lesbian soul you've ever trampled over. Stand up for those who have served you guns for eyes and bullet-like stares for the main course. Stand up for the ones who treated you like subservient humans, you with the delusion of wanting to get rid of the world of our kind, as if we were a kind the world needs rid of. As if because we love different way than you do, you can justify your cruelty with the loyalty you have for the cause, a cause you actually believe in just because someone else is different. Tell me, does your God believe in your cause? Does your God justify your acts as biblically humane? Because the Bible says God created us all in his image. And I'm imagining God is waving a pride flag right now, sporting all the colors of the very rainbows he created. And I believe he is looking down on you like you look down on us with disgust you so rightly deserve, because I serve a God of color. I serve a God of differences. I serve a God worthy of praise because he created us too in his image. And if you believe that image is a gay one, then go ahead, hate on us all you like, but my God is a fabulous God. Happy with this pansexual man he created in his image, and I'm proud to say I am his child. So, to the 25-year-old bully at work who thinks God hates you, me too, fuck you. You and Hitler can enjoy the afterlife together, high-fiving and saluting your death away, but I'm going to be with God when I die, in his rainbow sky forever. Thank you.
One
Can
of
we all
us.
unmute to, like,
One
use our
of
hands?
us. One of us. One of us. One of us.
That was amazing, man.
That
That
was
Levi.
incredible.
Oh,
Oh man.
Sorry,
That was so
I
good.
went a couple minutes over, my bad. That was my fault, I'm sorry.
You could have kept going and no one would have said a damn thing. We would have been here till like 1 a.m. and just been like, yeah, keep going.
Oh, they got a word for poets like you. Damn!
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Couldn't have said it better, and I won't even try. Welcome. We hope to see you again soon.
Yes.
And coming up next to our space, we have another newcomer, and he is the outgoing city of Redmond poet Laureate. Very impressive. He teaches bilingual poetry throughout through the Seattle Arts and Lectures program throughout Seattle, and also through the Jack Straw Cultural Center and through Path with Art. And he created the Poetry in the Park bi-weekly event, which is dedicated to Theodore Rothke. And he's been published by Flower Song Press as recently as this July. I'm very excited to hear Mr. Raul Sanchez. Please step to the mic.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I just happened to come across the post on Facebook and I thought, oh, this is interesting. So I thought about it for about 15 minutes while I was trying to fix the kitchen cabinet there. And then I said, I'm going to do it. So here I am, and thank you for providing the space. Yes, Seattle, we just began our 6-month rain festival until the spring begins. So I'm going to reshare some poems with you. Some are from the new book and then an extra one. And the first one is precisely titled after the name of your show, Behind the Barbed Wire. In the olden days, Southwest folks lived free, unbound, along dusty border towns. Before there was a fence, before there was a wall. Now they live fenced in, lined up against the wall. Next is border crossing. Talking, twisted tongue, languish among the tundra, lichen blackberry bushes, thorns, holding back, ripping our clothes, piercing our skin, bleeding, falling off the leaves like morning dew and the red dawn, down the path, the fence, border guards dressed in gray grunt, stop, don't move. Frozen, we stayed looking, bleeding with the bird song and the sound of dangling keys. We remained anonymous. No papers, no names, no passports, only the light in our eyes to cross the fence, cuffed and wet, behind us a language of fear, to break us, to lay us down under the darkened sky, the distant gunfire and torture screams. We stood still by the fence, bleeding in fear. Next is praise for the walking warriors. This is for all the migrants, the shoeless, the desperate, the risk takers, the caring fathers and mothers, the elders and young bloods, the babies, the laborers, the engineers, the aspiring writers, the ones who want to get ahead, the humans with colored skins kissed by the sun, the ones who are no longer dreaming, the ones who know the land, the ones who harvest our fruits and vegetables, the ones who take care of our elders, the ones who cook our food, the ones who sing hymns and turn prayer wheels, the poor ones, the unafraid, the women who were raped, the young women who want their children to have a better life, to all who desire and strive for freedom. The next is praise for, wait a minute. That's the one I just did. Sorry. Okay. So we keep hearing about guns everywhere. This is titled American Guns. Scattered bodies, bullet casings, people running, plummeting to the ground, uninterrupted gun blasts, agonizing screams, dark blood puddles, layers of skin flown by the wind, shadows, broken limbs, eyes closed, restful sleep interrupted, radio broadcasts, an American killing Americans on his own ground, blood, 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 more blood, the barrel of a gun holds the infinite silence of death. And now to end on a happy note, or a different way of closing, this is titled Recipe for Disaster. 5 pounds of new morals, 6 feet distance, 1 gallon of applied restrictions, 4 people coughing, half a cup of righteousness, 24 hours of repeated nonsense, 4 heads of state, 1 accredited doctor, 1 cup of concentrated orange food coloring, half a dozen white supremacists, 51 Republicans, 1 Russian. Mix all the ingredients in a pressure cooker, cook on high heat, and leave the kitchen before it explodes. Thanks.
One of us. One of us.
Thank you.
One of us. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Don't be afraid, Raul. That's just how we welcome our new friends and participants. Thank you so much for sharing. Hope to see you again soon. And coming up next, now, we're relatively new to the whole hosting thing, but we consider ourselves fair-minded. We don't play favorites, but we do have favorites. So coming up next is someone that I've known my whole life. And I can't wait to hear what she has to say tonight. Please welcome Robin Scofield.
Thank you. Thank you, my son. Yeah, we've known each other. You've known me. Let's see, a third of my life, half of my life. Yeah. So, I didn't know about the theme tonight. Seems like someone could have told me, but the poet I'd like to honor tonight is Robert Bly, who died yesterday. No, I'm sorry. I must have. I believe I signed up on the wrong date, so I didn't read the proper post. I think that's what happened. But Robert Bly died yesterday. It's not sad because he was 94, almost 95 years old, and he had a great life as a poet. I would say he was big time for a while there, getting published in poetry, doing a lot of workshops. He's the guy that did the drumming, started the whole men's drumming thing. That was later in his career. But when I was in college, he was a big influence on me. So one of my early influences. And he was a great guy who introduced a lot of American poets to Spanish poets, Mexican poets, South American poets. Some of his translations are more fairly called versions. But anyway, he was he also wrote an influential book called Leaping Poetry, which is a nice book to take a look at. So I'm going to read a couple of his poems, and then, hoping not to make myself look bad, I'll read a couple of mine. A dream on the night of first snow. I woke from a first day of snow dream. I dreamt I met a girl in the attic who talked of operas intensely. Snow has bent the poplar over nearly to the ground. New snowfall widens the plowing. Outside, maple leaves floated on rainwater, yellow, matted, luminous. I found a salamander and held him. When I put him down again, he strode over a log with such confidence, like a chess master, the front leg first, then the hind leg, He rose up like a tractor climbing over a hump in the field and disappeared toward winter, a caravan going deeper into mountains, dogs pulling travois, feathers fluttering on the lances of the arrogant men. And I think I'll read a couple of my poems about the weather, one of my favorite subjects. Wintry mix in the Chihuahuan Desert. No one predicted a noon wind chill of 19 degrees, fog and snow showers. Even now on television, the forecasters admit their models don't show it. While I hear snow crunch against the window pane like sand swung by a dust devil in the spring. All day I've watched it pile up around the palm tree and on its fronds, a witness to the snow-tipped pines, to the vanished Franklin Mountains sucked in by desert snow. The models say it will end in 7 minutes at 1 p.m., but I don't believe it for 1 minute. I believe visibility is down to 1 mile, that wind gusts are up to 35. I'm going to drive the Subaru and wear my snow boots, then snuggle up and do Sudoku, except that the shepherd dog wants his walk, even though snow slants like flecks of white paint, artists dab in the eyes of portraits, the light on this fog-bound day, snowing in the freezing Chihuahuan Desert. Just reminding you of what the weather can do, because it's going to kind of turn on Thanksgiving. And this one, I guess, was written about the same time. Freezing fog in the El Paso desert. The fog that crystals on my face as we walk in the morning weather hides the road. The fog that knocks on the window pane in the gray veil of a wizard who doesn't know which riddle to ask. The fog that grows during the night like a mushroom. The fog that descends fully formed but diaphanous, yet substantive enough to make the mountains disappear, closes Trans-Mountain Road. I ask the fog, the oldest riddle I know. What is it to see? What is it not to see? I am seeing what hides everything. And then one more little short one by Robert Bly. I should also say that a lot of his famous poems were anti-war poems. He was a big anti-war activist in the 60s and early 70s. After long busyness, I start out for a walk at last, after weeks at the desk. Moon gone, plowing underfoot, no stars, not a trace of light. Suppose a horse were galloping toward me in this open field. Every day I did not spend in solitude was wasted. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you as always. And where can people find more of you if that's what they want to do?
Well, I do have a couple of books and I'm on Facebook. My books are Sunflower Cantos by Mouthfeel Press and Flow, which I think you had to write to me on my email to get Flow.
Okay, well,
Okay.
thank you, Mom. We'll see you soon.
Thank
And
you.
all right, and coming up next, I do want to stress again that we don't play favorites, but I'm only human. I have favorites. And the next poet coming up, you've already heard from them with other voices attached. They are quite simply, the MV Lee. Lee, please step to the mic when you're ready.
Hello, thank you. I definitely was not blushing, so thank you all so much. I do have some covers that I would like to read, and I'm going to start with this one with a little preface. This is by the wonderful Bale Larkin. I was initially planning on covering another poem by them, but because of the time constraints and everything, I asked them if they could send me anything that they could think that I could read. So they sent me one that resonated really hard with me, especially coming the 1-year anniversary of my dad's passing. And this was just perfect. So this is by Bale, and this is called When I Am a Mountain. What if we begin as humans, our impatience, our meddling minds, or our teeming contradictions, and then we evolve into animals who are more coherent and closer to the earth? In time, our lives will end and we would be reborn as protozoa, first as perambulating bacteria, then carnivorous flowers, and then as vegetables and fruiting shrubbery, and then as trees, ancient angiosperms, solid as anything growing, wiser in their years than every other cell laying claim to life here. What if, when we fell in our venerable majesty and were reborn as soil, we lived on learning the values of depth and stillness, and of giving support to every flighty life thing we would ever meet? What if we came to understand the rich persistence of rock, metal, magma, and the very planet herself? What if we paltry bipeds evolved into worlds, which evolved into stars, and then galaxy spanning awareness and purpose that would someday alight with the lives of 1,000,000 billion blazing maelstorms to form a universe of possibilities and variation? Imagine how much we would need to accept of ourselves, of every last life of us, our movements and our musings and the stillest space between breaths, even while we are still flooded with rushing currents and rising tides and each whirling atom of our being. We would need to accept every death, each newness, each betrayal by our own substance, every moment of waking and finding ourselves turned to mysteries again. We would need to accept that we are infant immensities, every one of us, each life, each breathless stone, each molecule of air and space, everything existing. We hold reality like a seed inside ourselves, and we have so much still to learn. So that was again by Bale Larkin. The next one that I want to cover, and I told her this is one of my all-time favorites of hers, by the Nisaids. And this is La Llorona. Mis hijos, ripped from my bosom, and we reached el otro lado, caged like animals by their primos from the other side. Compadre, how can you wear that uniform? Token brown officers, do you not have a heart? They took mis bebés, leaving my breasts aching and full of milk. Tío Tomás, ¿qué dirá tu mamá? Ella, who crossed all those years ago, sprayed with DDT to cleanse her of her filth. Cancer took her from you. Are you not part of the ones who gave it to her? Mis hijas, they have given them to strangers, no paperwork to trace them, trafficked along state lines, a worse fate than death. Mis hijas y mis hijos, thousands of forgotten souls with no one to love them, cast like pearls to swine. I cry for you. Mis hijos, mis hijas, I wish I could die for you, that my llantos and sacrifice could only save you. No matter what they say, you did not deserve this. Son inocentes, mis críos. No matter what they say, this is not their land. You are native to this soil. Children of Anahuac. Chihuahuatl, La Tonantzin gave birth to you. Before they came and ripped all her children from her bosom, all she could do was cry. ¿Dónde están mis hijos? ¿Dónde están mis hijas? Campa ka no cocone, campa ka no sioconetl. Again by the Nisaids, Belly of the Snake, highly recommend it. And lastly, I do want to cover another one who is hosting today. And he shows up, let me see if we can see it there, in Life in the Time. And this is Kit Wren. This is called Message Sent, 11:31 a.m., 7/8/2020. Message Seen, 1:32 a.m. A sudden dark thought propels me to send a message to a friend saying, I just want to make sure nobody spirited you off the streets of Portland into an unmarked van. When she replies quickly, I am able to pretend it is a dark joke and not a mental image that I have had and can't shake even as we continue to talk. She also kids on the square. She says she's too asthmatic to risk exposure to tear gas, no matter how close to her heart or her doorstep the conflict reaches. In this moment, I am briefly thankful for social media, for taking all the panic out of all my panic mishaps, turning my frightened whelps into nervous chuckles. We laugh at that to make him feel bad about himself. We want to demotivate him, make him move with a slower, more predictable gait. If we keep it up, we will make him resent his job and half-ass it. We will keep doing that even after it has been proven not to work. Even after the tests come back and the low-grade fevers get closer and closer to my hermetic circle. Perhaps that has never actually been able to distinguish between mockery and encouragement, and reads all our words in the same flat tone. Perhaps I should not let my heart whisper furtive squirts of succor, but let it blast in steroid-aided pumps and arrhythmia loud enough to set off car alarms, to give all the people fighting urgent fights one secure moment to disorganize the destroyers and acolytes of death for just long enough. I am not that powerful. I fear I'm not equal to this moment, but I know the people who are. I trust them with my affirming light. They live in the mountains. They hang hammocks with each end on a saguaro. They walk all day in forest without getting lost. They know that I know them. They know that I need them. They too fight the silence and aim their heartbeats carefully. That was by our host. And sorry if I messed up a lot of poetry. I'm like, my tongue is all tied today. This is my last one. It's I'm gonna read only the Spanish one, just because. It's called Tonantzin, and this is mine. Madre, han intentado borrar tu nombre de nuestra lengua, cambiarlo por aquel de sus seres celestiales que han utilizado al justificar tanta sangre derramada. Sangre de tus hijos, sangre de tu pueblo, sangre de tu tierra sobre tu tierra fértil. Madre, han erguido sus propios templos sobre el Tepeyac, piso mismo donde sepultaron nuestros cuerpos y pretendieron enterrar con ellos nuestros nombres, historias, esta lengua. Madre, los bárbaros han tratado de arrebatarnos nuestros frutos, han limpiado nuestra sangre de la tierra, renombrado nuestro origen bajo castas, pureza de sangre, colorismo, discriminación, pobreza, marginalización, genocidio. Madre, ha cambiado tanto el mundo, pero nos han llenado de esperanza estos hijos tuyos. Sin importar distancia o tiempo, lengua o credo, han encontrado las raíces de este árbol tuyo, alimentando corazones, revoloteados cual huitzili. Madre, quisieron enterrarnos, pero no sabían que éramos semillas. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you so much. Yeah, you should have just trusted me, but if you didn't, now you know that they're the MV Lee. Lee, if you can tell the people where else they can find you really quick.
You can find me on Instagram as Cadáveres, as in cadavers with an extra E between the R and the S, _literarios, like literary. Instead of a Y, it's an iOS. I don't know how to freaking write it. I'll put it in the chat. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much, Lee. And what a great night. And it's not done. I don't think we're even close to done. I'm not sure where we are in the list, but we're at least, I do know who's next though. And coming up next, all the way from Egg Harbor City, New Jersey, is a regular here who is better every week, and it's really cool to see that and trust that. And here they are. This is Terry Rose Jurtz.
Hey, I'm reading from Ad versus Reaction for Nick Paleologos, say his name correctly. And this is, he'll know why I picked this one. This is called Unholy Trinity. I learned something about you, America. You can recognize the sins of another nation or empire, You pull the thorns out of others' eyes to add to your own kaleidoscope vision of your own atrocities. The Trail of Tears, Black Wall Street, Japanese internment camps, and many more. Can you look at yourself as the shit idea sandwich instead of apple pie? You don't teach in history textbooks, making sure that we repeat and repeat the same errors over and over again. You point out what genocide is. You commit it anyways. In the name of toxicity, white supremacy, and manifest destiny. So don't try to disguise this in the name of God. That's the first one. I'm going to also read from Some Days Here, Trisha. I like this poem. I must have missed it the first time I read it, but I really like it. It's called Sway. Lubricate my soul as you souse my ego drunk. Stoke my fervor mad. A mile away, if you were an inch, ever the coquette. And one more by Unmesh, called Allure of My Love. The ravishing trees, the alluring mountains, and your bewitching eyes, looking intently at me. Oh, mountains, I ignore you. Trees, come back tomorrow. Allure of my love is calling me back from the land of the forgotten and forbidden. A dream, even for my dreams. Thank you.
Aw, that was so awesome, Terry. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Don't cry, don't cry.
That was great. And a shout out to our far-flung friend Unmesh over in India. Terry, if the people want to see more of you, where can they go to do that, to get their fix?
iFunnies on IG and Terry Rose Dirtson on Facebook. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. This is amazing. I'm just overwhelmed by everyone. And we are not done yet. So, because you heard a little bit from him, you've heard him leading us in our chants for our new friends. And he is at this point an old friend. And we're going to welcome him just like we would an old friend around Thanksgiving. Please welcome to the stage, Nick Paleologos.
Kit, it's great to see you again. Richie, BWOMS. It's always good to be back here. So I have 3 for y'all tonight. I know I look different with scruff. That's because I had a photo shoot on Sunday and Saturday. It was amazing. First time I had it in a while for my cosplay. I'll get to that in a bit. So I'm gonna bring in someone that's not really in our community, but it's he's a part of the Jersey scene. His name is Laureate, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name, Laureate. Laureate Animation. I hope I got it right. He's a great friend of Paul Conqueso, and I met Laureate in person. And also, Laureate's a great host and also a great poet, too. So from Laureate's book, On Love, On Hope, On Heartbreak, this one's called #Drugs, her poem. Sunday, July 11:19 p.m. What if I told you the moon danced around your eyes, or your lips dripped honey, that every cracked smile is like sunrise, and each step makes earthquakes in my chest? You are summer rain. You are winter clouds, scorching heat and biting cold. You are heroin. So again, that's from Laureate's book, On Love, On Hope, On Heartbreak. And I will drop Laureate's details too as well for how you can get the book and everything, where to follow Laureate on. So we heard from, I hope you're still here, Denise. I covered your poem a while back, and now that you're here, I'm going to cover this one again for you. This one is from Denise Science's book, Belly of the Snake, Healing. I grew up ugly, covered in lesions, everyone always pointing and snickering at my flaws, strangers handing out advice to diminish the scars. Would it work on self-afflicted wounds, on scars deep within myself, festering sores from a childhood stolen? Memories are fuzzy, but the pain is real. I can't handle affection. Anxiety kicks in when I'm crowded, floating heads all around me, asking me to move my hands away from delicate places. I lost myself in hopeless romantic fantasies, tales of true love and tragedy. I could only wish upon stars for the chance at romance. So I sold myself to the lowest bidder in hopes that my willingness would land me a prince. Instead, I kissed frogs disguised as Prince Charming. I sold myself cheap for love. I wasn't worth much more than a compliment, a kind word. Any sort of validation had me spreading. It's hard to be intimate now. No matter how deeply I love, a wall is built around me, blocking out those who truly matter. Damaged goods. I walk a tightrope on the edge of depression and mediocrity. Every day a struggle to stay balanced, a thin line between doubt and claircognizance. It has taken me 3 decades to love myself, to love my skin and its imperfections, to love my hair and allow it to grow, to love every sunspot, stretch mark, and dimple. I hope with self-love I can open myself up to vulnerability, of finally allowing myself be held, without feeling the anxiety and insecurity of thinking he might reject me after all these years. I hope in time I can stop picking at my scabs, stop biting the dead skin on my lips, allow myself to heal from the past, look at myself and say, I survived all my worst days. No longer a slave to the fucked up voice in my head, because I have finally healed. And there's no more use for the words of discouragement, because I have finally realized I am worth it. So again, that's from Denise Science's book, Belly of the Snake, which you should all read. It's really awesome. And to close out, I just got this book in today. This is from Roz Diaz's book, Lady Lotus. And this last one is a short one called Worship. From Lady Lotus, Rosalind Diaz. Holy Mother of fake contractions, I can only pray one day a little human makes all the years of shedding this lining worth every second of the pain. May the art that my womb creates lead a world of change. May this natural cocoon carry the fruits of this labor that usually lasts 3 to 5 days. May a man never compare his endurance to that of this woman, with superiority weeping from his blasphemous tongue, and expect to win the debate, because he will never know the power of this multi-purpose gift. From God to the world, bow as we color you red. Worship the ground beneath our feet, because we are worthy. And again, the last one is from Roz Diaz's book, Lady Lotus, which you should all check out. It is amazing. And I will drop all the details on these poets too as well. Thank you all so much. That's my side.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Nick.
Nick!
And thank you for the professional hype skills, framing the books and everything, making sure we all got that title. Where can the people find more of you? That's what they're inclined to do.
Well, you can find me next Saturday, because I'm taking over BWOMS next Monday. Excuse me. What am I saying next Saturday? Next Monday. You can also follow me at The Real Nick P on IG, Nick Palogos on Facebook. And this is my book, by the way, Ad versus Reaction, that you heard from earlier from Terry, which is incredible. And there's also a hidden poem in this book that I will tell you all about next Monday. Right now, I want to hear some more poems, and I'll drop all my info into the chat, and also the info for the poets too, as well, as that I've read. Thank you, everyone. Much love to y'all.
Creating intrigue, creating a hook for his book. The man is a professional. Okay. Well, going from the swamps of Jersey all the way to East Los, we have someone who joined us in person last month for our poetry pachanga. And feel that? You feel that shaking? That's because Sandy shakes the mic.
What's
Please
up,
take the stage when you're ready.
Kit? Hey, El Paso. Yes, I did. It was so beautiful to meet all of you. Okay, so here we go, short ones, because I know it's late all over the world. I'm gonna read one since it's a poetry potluck. The first one is a little louder and the second one is a much softer one. Here we go. Dear Diego, this is Frida's lawyer. Yeah, it is time you get your shit and bounce. Excuse me? Nah, she's over it. Let me summarize it for you. So the whole I'm an artist, let me just bang every naked muse thing, well, it got old. Yeah, that's right. No, correction. She used to call you Panzón as a pet name. She has replaced that pet name with Pinche Gordo Estúpido, Mr. Diego, respectfully. Yeah, she said that. I mean, there was more, but I'm on a Zoom and there's no time. Anyway, Diego, if that's your real name, here are the damages my client Frida is listing. Number 1, wasting her goddamn time. Every tear, every time her mascara smeared, and every eyelash that absorbed her pain filled with liquid release. Number 2, every sucia you decided to stick your dirty little paintbrush in. Number 3, being jealous of Frida's natural light. Get your own light, puto. Her words, not mine, Senor Diego. Pretending to worship her palette while stealing the recipes to her most private colors. You are not worthy of the sepia you contributed to her murals. Yes, there's more. Giving Frida any tiny speck of insecurity because she could not bear any of your children. Well, Mr. Diego, survey says that again, being a puto may have contributed to the miscarriages. Sounds like science to me, sir. It is no surprise that Frida was able to seduce your favorite whore. Perhaps she preferred someone who smelled better and would not suffocate her with their enormous panza. Don't hate the game, Mr. Diego. And last but not least, the last charge against you is for giving the world a false impression that Diego and Frida were the ultimate love story. Today, we will take you to court, Diego Rivera, and you will swear under oath in front of the art world that Frida Kahlo was the missing brushstroke in your masterpiece, and that without her love, all your canvases would remain unfinished. Thank you, Mr. Rivera. We will see you in court. Okay. Let me see here. I am gonna do the softer one. Here it goes, new piece. I dreamt I was a snowflake, just taking a stroll on Rodeo Drive. Every intricate part of me was God-given white. I was free to glisten, twirl, and touch any other creature because my presence was welcomed. Not one soul questioned my existence, my purpose, or if I had the bank account to match my location. It was just as if I had a snowflake pass. I was safe because they felt safe. I could have arrived in the middle of summer, spring, or early autumn, and not one authority would ever question a snowflake. If I wanted to, I could even throw on my yoga pants and put my blonde hair into a ponytail and run free. Run anywhere, because snowflakes are valued and protected. The concept of being a white, delicate creation that will always be universally loved and accepted is a concept foreign to me. Until I woke up and pondered, what if one day the clear crystals that reflect light decided to be brown? Could I, would I, still be just a beautiful snowflake on Rodeo Drive? If the light reflected truth in their eyes, could I just be? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much,
Sandy.
Give Sandy cake.
Woo! Still shaking. Where can the people find you? Because I know they want to.
Oh, you know I run these streets, Kit. Yeah, in person, or actually, we have a very cool feature next week for Los Angeles Poet Society, Donali Thursday. A dear poet friend of mine is featuring from San Diego, and he is hot. So you guys tune in. Follow my page, Sandy Shakes the Mic, on Instagram. Thank you.
Excellent. We will all be sure to do that if we weren't already. And coming up next is a new addition to a relatively new addition to our menagerie of poets. And it's been fun to watch her sort of learn how this works as she goes. Because she didn't know what we meant by stage name at the first mic she signed up for. But now she's got it all down pat. Please welcome Rowena Wrights, Michelle for name, to the stage.
Hello, everyone. I am going to cover two poems. One person is in the room. This person, the first one I'm going to do is not in the room. She is a poet that I found on Facebook. Her name is R. Clift. This is called How to Be a Poet. Being a poet is being vulnerable. Being a poet is carrying a pen with you everywhere you go. Being a poet is getting called an enchantress and pathetic in the same day. Being a poet is staring your own demons in the face and writing down their names in permanent ink for everyone to see. Being a poet is writing what you feel, what you must, no matter what they say. Being a poet is a state of mind, a way of life, a beating heart that is ever so afraid to show itself, but does so anyway. Being a poet is recognizing poetry in other people's everyday words more than actually writing it yourself. Being a poet is taking in broken hearts and teaching them how to feel again so they can leave and go love somebody else. Being a poet requires a promise to be authentic, a promise to be true, a promise to be messy and raw and imperfect and real. Being a poet isn't for everyone, but it is all I ever want to be. And this is my tribute to Brian Franco. The best museums in the world have no walls. Whilst driving up Route 1 in Maine, I stopped at a rest area to stretch my legs. Its wildlife preserve campus encompassed a pond, wetlands, and walking trails. A weeping willow tree near the pond cried out to me. Yellow and black striped caterpillars held court in the cruxes where its trunk and branches met. They looked like fresh from the tube cream streams of acrylic paint in relief on tree bark. An abstract masterpiece from Mama Gaia herself, existing in untangled harmony, waiting to cocoon out of sight, then explode into butterflies and be displayed on a gallery wall that is the air everywhere. Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you for introducing us to a new voice and paying tribute to everyone's favorite dictator of Spain, Brian Franco.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
You are welcome.
Hey, wonderful. And coming up next to our little... Oh, I'm sorry. Michelle, where can the people find more of your work if that's what they're inclined to do?
I am on Facebook, Rowena Wrights, And I'm new to this whole Instagram thing, so I made one last night and we'll see what I could come up with and post.
All right. All right. Well, we'll be following along no matter what shape that takes. And coming up next to our stage, if he's here, he's a man of relentless positive energy. He rhymes as if he has to, as if he has been cursed by some sort of, what was that, Richie? Oh, he was just making it. Okay.
I was just being your visual hype man. I was just like,
okay, I got you. Okay, there he is. He is he rhymes as if he has been cursed to do so, but he has turned it into a positive, as he must turn everything into positives. That's right. As Mike just put in the chat, he was bitten by a radioactive smile. So let's look out for those. And let's look out for our next performer, Mr. Ed Poetastic.
Because you made me feel fantastic. Hey, Kit, you're such a hit because your writings are the shit. Okay, now it's time to go on with it. Hey, everyone, my name is Ed Poetastic. Hope everyone feel fantastic. Please get in time to drama rhyme for all you feel sublime. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got like 6 jokes and 3 poems, and you know they're gonna rhyme. Okay, here's my try. What game does raccoons hate the most? Cops and robbers. Why does the penguin hate dancing? Because he keeps slipping and sliding. What did the wolf tell his boss? Sir, I've been howling for a raise this entire week. Why was the robot fired from his job? He just didn't have the heart. What was the fish wrapper's name? Fried Grilled. And why was Humpty Dumpty laughing at the movie theater? I didn't know, but it cracked them up. All right. I got 3 pieces. My other pieces is called Knock Knock. All right. Knock. Knock, knock. Who's there? Knock, knock. Should I care? Knock, knock. Do I dare? Knock, knock. Yes, I can hear. I'm aware. Knock, knock. I didn't do nothing, I swear. Knock, knock. I don't need a prayer. Knock, knock. My house doesn't need repair. Knock, knock. I don't need cookware. Knock, knock. I don't need another armchair. Knock, knock. I'm losing my hair. Knock, knock. I don't have money to spare. Knock, knock. Oh my God, I'm in a nightmare. Knock, knock. Are you a grizzly bear? Knock, knock. I'm only in my underwear. Knock, knock. Please be air. Knock, knock. I don't have nothing to share. Knock, knock. This is a daycare. Knock, knock. Yes, I'm here. Are you still there? All right, I got another one. Let's see. This is called. What's in the box? What's in the box? I don't know. What's in the box? I have no clue. What's in the box? Something long ago? What's in the box? I don't know. You? What's in the box? A little note that says hello. What's in the box? Something old or new? What's in the box? A tiny baby crow. What's in the box? A funny and crazy tattoo. What's in the box? I don't know. Oh, no. What's in the box? Maybe a pair of nice shoes. What's in the box? Oh, lights. Why don't they glow? What's in the box? Is it 1 or maybe 2? What's in the box? It really sucks and blows. What's in the box? I reuse petite pink tutu. What's in the box? You're not a bright fellow. What's in the box? Flowers red, green, maybe baby blue. What's in the box? Is this something you owe? What's in the box? Can this be a crazy, no, Gorilla Glue? What's in the box? A picture of small yet grand plateaus. What's in the box? A puzzle of boats, ships, or canoes? What's in the box? A crazy and broken, untuned banjo? What's in the box? Is this really something you need to pursue? What's in the box? Maybe top secret cargo? What's in the box? Something true, fake, or maybe taboo? What's in the box? Is something to change your view. All right, got one more in store. I hope everyone loves an encore. Okay, this is called Iron Hat. There it is. Come on, what's the facts? It's not on your aluminum hat. I don't hear nothing from that cat. Wait, what is this chaotic format? Okay, I won't do that. There's nothing wrong with that thermostat. No. The earth isn't fake or flat. No. I'm not a CIA agent, snitch, or rat. I thought we can hang and chat. Yes, I watch out for your mystical match. All right. Please don't snap. No, I'm not doing some MK Ultra crap. Your sounds. Tap, tap, tap. It's a TV. Have you lost it or snap? I keep telling you. No, you're not on the map. Yes, this isn't paint. I'm actually black. Yes, check my ID. Careful with that strap. It seems common sense you lack. Hey, don't smash my map. Man, you only have pace, but no snacks. Yes, my electronics and shoes are on the rack. No, I don't have a wire or being tracked. No. This is a sting or a trap. No, time moves forward. There's no gaps. I think you need rest or a quick nap. Prepare for combat. Are you smoking crack? No, your cell phone and computers aren't hacked. I'm going. Hope your humanity is intact. For real, you don't need to worry. You're a huge paranoid brat. Thank you.
Nice, Eddie. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Always stay blue and keep pushing through. Remember, I love each and every one of you.
Okay. You get that love back with interest, Ed. Thank you so much. Do you have any links where the people can find you?
Oh, sure. People can find me at the most awesomest open mic on Mondays that burns your despair and sadness away. Barbed Wire. And every weekend, everywhere, because I got tons of stuff to share because I care. Woo. Thank you, poetress. You're always spit and write some good shit. All right. If you can follow me, my name is Eddie Foreman at Facebook, and you can follow me at IG at EdForm92. Remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my poetastic insight. If you feel me request, if you can take a guess, I'll click yes on your request. So stay humble, safe, and blessed.
Like he has to. And like we need him to. Thank you so much, Ed. Oh, man. What a great night. I keep saying that, and it keeps being true. And it's still going up. Because coming up next, we're going all the way back to Cali. I don't think so. Going back to Cali, where we see our friend out in Long Beach, Abraham Kimani. Please step to the mic when you're ready.
How's it going?
Great. It's going great. How are you?
I'm good. And I've been pretty quiet here, but I've been listening, and everything I've been listening to is straight fire, man. So I appreciate all of you guys who have graced the stage before me and for those who will be coming after me. So I got several short pieces, and I'm gonna get as much as I can get done in 7 minutes. Okay, first one's a haiku. If Jesus Christ starred in a new TV sitcom, it would be Jew-ish. All right. I got 3 acronym pieces, very short. This first one is poverty. Prosecutors optimistically vindicate, exonerate racist, terrorist youth. Next one is genial. Geniuses electrify neons, illuminating agape love. The last acronym, sentimental. Solar energy nourishes the igniting melanin, ever nurturing today's abolitionist leaders. And I've been doing some number poems that discuss personal relationships and social issues. So this one is called 23. What is so special about 23? It's not the fact that Michael Jordan and LeBron James once had him on their jerseys, but when 23 married a beautiful queen who wears him on her ring finger, around her neck, in her heart every day, makes him look and feel 23, though he is now 36. So I was 23 when I got married, and now I'm 36. Okay. This next one is called 13, which represents the number of years I've been married. 13 are teenagers in marital years, young lovebirds doing grown-up things in the bedroom, under the covers, behind closed doors. People say they're too young to be in a committed relationship for life, but 13 are mature adults beyond their years who've been through the stage of spiritual puberty, well-developed soulmates who already knew from an early age that God destined them to be united as one numerical flesh until death do them apart. This one is called What a Difference a Dollar Makes. $1 bill, 100 pennies, 20 nickels, 10 dimes, 4 quarters. It may seem like a little change, but it has so much value to someone who woke up this morning with absolutely nothing. Uncertain if they would be able to buy dollar value food from McDonald's or go another day hungry. What a difference a dollar makes to a person with food insecurities who want some change, who needs some change for one square meal. So I pull out my wallet and give them some change because one day my conditions might change for the worse, and I may become food insecure and want for change, in need of change, because I'm just a paycheck away from poverty. And this one is called Softly Hard, Hardly Soft. I'd rather softly love you all the time, but hardly ever fuck you, than hardly ever love you, but softly fuck you all the time. I'd rather be softly hard loving you than be hardly soft fucking you. Please let it be known to your heart, mind, body, and soul, I do not love fucking you, but I do fucking love you, privately and publicly. And this next one is 02251985. The time was 6:53 a.m. when I arrived at Earth Penitentiary with an 8-digit prison number given to me to identify as my government name, terribly mistaken for my date of birth, 02251985. I do not wake up at 6:53 a.m. every February 25th in a happy mood, because there is no anniversary to celebrate serving a life sentence on Earth's death row since 1985, awaiting execution without having a choice in how I want to die for being born Black in a white section of this globe. My only wish is to receive the gift of eternal life in heaven on February 25th. Then I will have a happy birthday celebrating freedom, liberty, and justice away from this hellhole called Earth. And I think I'll do one more called Mr. Genocide. If I didn't, actually I did that already last week, never mind. All right, I'm gonna just end it right there, man. So I appreciate you guys being here, listening to the pieces. They're all personal to me, and I hope you enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed you guys' work. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Abraham, for words both true and real. A couple of gentlemen from Port Arthur, Texas, called that trill. Where can the people find you, find more of you, if that's what they want to do?
You guys can find me on Instagram at The Righteous Poet, spelled WRITEOUS. If you're not following me, please give me a follow. I will follow you guys back, and we could look at each other's posts and talk about how dope they are.
Excellent. Love to post online. Okay. Thank you again, Abraham.
Thank you.
And we are this night has gone almost too fast, it seems to me, because I want this to keep going at least till my friend gets here from LA, but he's gonna get here. Sorry about that. But we're coming back to the home base, back to El Paso real quickly. Well, technically we're going to Horizon City, but that's El Paso. That's close enough. And we're gonna speak with someone who you've already heard from tonight, but with different voices. And I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say herself. So please welcome Denise Science. I think you're out. There you go. Denise, where'd you go? You're still on mute and you're not visible.
Huh. Strange. Denise, where are you?
We haven't heard the seance part of the chat. Goodness. Oh, what a bummer. Well, I don't see them at all now. Okay, well, that's obviously some sort of technical error. Hopefully that they'll make it back. Oh, there they are. Hang on. Are you with us, Denise? Can you hear us? Ooh. Feel the presence.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can. Sorry about that. Went back on mute though. Where are you?
Is this a little bit better? No?
It was going in and out there for a bit, and your picture's frozen. That's what's going on. Oh, here we go. Okay, now it's
I'm
working.
so sorry. Let me try and come back, guys.
Okay.
Let me try and come back. Okay? I'll be right back.
Okay, well, while we all say a prayer to the gods of Wi-Fi, we're going to move on to the next person on our list, who I mistakenly called up earlier because I wasn't aware of a backroom deal that happened, but they were generous enough to give away their spot and take more time to adhere to my little game. And I'm very grateful and very touched by that. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Please welcome Ray to the mic.
Thank you all. I was able to find 3 poets, but I like breaking rules, so I'm pretty sure I broke a rule. Let's just get into it. The first poet, I think this is breaking the rule, Maya Angelou. I wanted to read Cage Bird. Cage Bird. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream to the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with the fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade wind soft through the sighting trees, and the fat worms waiting on the dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a cage bird stands on the grave of dreams, and the shadow shouts of a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with the fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hills, for the cage bird sings of freedom. Thank you. I hope that, I don't even know if that broke the rules or not. The second piece I have is Peggy Robles. She is my mentor, spiritual advisor. She's been in my life and I'm so grateful. And I love you, Peggy. So this is a poem from her book. Yeah, sorry, I'm just like, what's the book name? Homage to the warrior women. It's called Despite It All, I Remain Puerto Rican. For years, you tried to assimilate me, invade my land, impose policies, appointed policymakers, removed my history, planted your flag in my backyard. But despite it all, I remain Puerto Rican. Glorifying assimilation, you bleach the thoughts of children, encourage them to mimic those portrayed in your one-sided history lessons written by the victorious. Lessons that stigmatize revolutionaries and discourage anti-imperialistic ways. Lessons that glorified slave traders, conquistadors, and meticulously summarize the genocides of my ancestors on just one page. But despite it all, I remain Puerto Rican. Banned Puerto Rican Spanish, causing generations to become non-lingual. Those that spoke Spanish were labeled deficient. Those that spoke English labeled American. Different definitions of what a Puerto Rican was, questioning whether I was. Papi said, I must become acculturated, and English I was taught. Mommy hated this idea, so Spanish she spoke nonstop. I attempted to merge both idioms, Papi's New Yorkans and Mommy's straight up Borican, but failed. English prevailed. Yet I still believe that despite it all, I remain Puerto Rican. So today, I teach my children all about Albizu, Campos, Munoz, Marin, Lolita, and the Bugors. We light candles for Jemaija and Django. He dances salsa, bomba, and plana, eats rice, beans, and pinon, learns about his culture through his English mother's tongue. You may think that because he speaks no Spanish, assimilated he is destined to become, but he will be sure to tell you where his family values come from. So despite all your attempts to make him forget where his roots lie, you must remember that the Spanglish language does not solely define who or what is Puerto Rican. Although these lips that are sure to shame the reddest rose cannot produce the rhythmic patterns of my ancestors, they will be quick to tell you that despite it all, I remain Puerto Rican. Thank you. I have one last piece. This is called, I wrote this one in remembrance of Hurricane Maria. It's called Thoughts and Prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, the victims of Maria. America heard what happened. Instead of sending help, we sent an off-brand supremacist, an off-brand bounty. You know, bounty, the cheapest pieces of shit, Dollar Tree toilet paper, thin paper towels, not even towels. You know, we could have afforded to send towels, and we know it always rains in your part of colonization, and this was just another storm. Don't use it as an excuse to beg for more. Hasn't America done enough? Tried our hardest to turn your island into dust. Isn't your citizenship enough? Thoughts and prayers. Oh, wait. I mean, el thoughts and la prayers, mi amigos, mi familia, mi Americanos, third-rate citizens right behind the African Americans, maybe even on par with the Mexicans. Are Puerto Ricans born in the US even considered Puerto Ricans? How about those who haven't even stepped foot on the mainland? Are we still considered Puerto Rican? How many thoughts and prayers do you give the white man you call Jesus? We call him Jesus. Instead of converting the slaves and demonizing the gays, he's working for less than minimum wage, scraping the shit off that red, white, and blue. I'm telling you, this American dream is only for the men with white skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes, right hand raised up high, hail falling from the sky, hail listen to all his lies, hail 3 cheers for the colonized, hail thoughts and prayers. Throw them in the river along with some sunflowers, and I promise you things will get better. I promise you that I will never let them throw paper towels at my people again. Thoughts and prayers. Take your thoughts and prayers and shove them up your ass. Thank you. Woo.
Yeah, Ray. Yeah, Ray.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ray.
Yes,
Dang
yes,
it.
yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Representing the island. Thank you so much, Ray, for your time. And for those words. And where can the people find more of you if that's what they're inclined to do? Because they must be.
You can find me at Ray Did This at Instagram and Facebook. I also have a performance with the Nuyorican Poets Cafe on December 18th, 8 p.m. It's free. Come on down.
All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Ray. We're proud to be the unofficial after party for the Nuyorican on Mondays. And well, we got it fixed up with the cable company. We called them up or did whatever, and we got Denise back on the line. So Denise, please take it away.
Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry about that. My internet kind of sucks all the way over here in Horizon. First, I just want to thank Lee and Nick for reading my poetry. It's a whole different perspective when you hear it from somebody else. So I hope to do to those who I'm going to read from today. I'm going to start off with Richie Marufo. And this poem is called Windblown World, a Chuco love song. Incoherent mumblings are the inept incantations drawn from the abyss of this pen's empty kiss. I've had many poems eaten by the clumsy dance of a backspace button. You are my work in progress. Isn't that all we'll ever be? Isn't that all we ever are? You see, I want to make music. I want that dark, smoky, aromatic tone that legends like Lester Young, Ben Webster, and Art Lewis painted their masterpieces in, when there was nothing left to yearn for, to culminate, for meditate and orchestrate. Inky, sonic thumbprints soaked in the lusty allure of dark corridors and light post-forever musings of stardust flicker flame passageways. 5:07 a.m. The cosmos are crunched and Buddha folds over the alarm clock. Stacks of what have you, nonsensical ramblings ruminate on frothy jazz-licked rememberings of your familiar afterkiss. Perhaps this sensitive heart is penance from a past life, for even a tangential universe such as this can explode a kiss into atomic whiplash. This is your love song. So when life is bringing you down, don't forget that ever essential elemental presence in breath, like I sing freeform bebop impulses into a Chuco skyline, sonic smoke signals that swirl and twirl into the air to become misguided mockingbird melodies in search of its music. You move, sandstorm rebop rememberings. Cuando yo te vi, mi corazón bailó. There are 100,000 heartbeats in a day, but the ones that sound like jazz are for you. So yeah, I love you, Richie. And then this next one I'm going to read is from Kit, and it's called Zero Coal Rejects the World at Large. I have a confession disguised as a question. Has a desert spoiled all other outdoor settings for you too? Do forests seem to you a claustrophobic compromise between the indoors and the outdoors, unsatisfying as most compromises are? How can this be outside if I cannot see the entire sky? Does the ocean seem showy and excessive, gaudy, like plastic jewelry on an otherwise fine hand? To have all that undrinkable water feels like someone made a mistake but didn't care enough to correct it. We are dry land, but what we find is potable. Did the hill country underwhelm you too? Were you tempted to laugh at all the hill people who went around instead of over and through? They would think us mad, but I'll never make the mistake of carrying what they think again. Does every green field, no matter how wild, take on the manicured unreality of a golf course? I am tired, friend. of this world of driving ranges. You and I will spread our picnic blanket in the sand trap and throw back every Titleist that blunders in. I love that poem, by the way, Kit. I love you too, Kit. And then, let me get my breath. I'm also going to read from Lee. She has this wonderful book out called Para los Locos. So just like her, just like them, I am going to read in Spanish, and then I'll do the English translation. So hopefully I do it justice. Like I said, they are an amazing poet. Posesiones. Te encontraré nuevamente en la mitad de la noche. Veré tu sombra en mis paredes, acechando mis desasosiegos. Te veré, tal vez, extendiéndote en el rabillo de mis ojos y descenderás sobre mí cuando el sol en la ventana me ciegue. Te encontraré nuevamente, tus múltiples garras en mi garganta, hurgando entre mis cuerdas bucales en búsqueda de un quejido, un alarido o el llanto. Te encontraré nuevamente, lo sabré cuando no encuentre palabras, cuando falten ganas de todo, cuando sentir sea solo pesadumbre o me cruce por la mente un eterno descanso. Y es que siempre vuelves de puntitas entre susurros y no me doy cuenta que te entras, sino hasta verme otra vez en cama, casi muerto, casi vivo, en un estado medio donde ganas sobran y ganas faltan. Soy producto de posesiones y cada vez que te encuentro, asfixiante, doliente, incesante, mudo pieles y huesos y me convierto poco a poco en tus fantasmas. Sé que vendrás nuevamente, porque hay veces que te extraño, porque hay días en los que de más de lo que quitas, de lo que das más de lo que quitas, y porque ya has estado tanto tiempo debajo de esta carne, que es difícil exorcizarte sin que te lleves partes de mí. Te encontraré nuevamente, de eso estoy seguro. And then now I'll do the English translation. I'll find you again. In the middle of the night, I'll see your shadow on my walls, haunting my unease. I'll see you perhaps stretching from the corner of my eyes, and you'll descend over me when the sunlight entering through my window blinds me. I'll find you again with your claws around my throat, rummaging through my vocal cords in search for a moan, a howl, or a whimper. I'll find you again. I know it when I run out of words, when I run out of will to do anything, when feeling just causes grief, or when the thought of eternal rest crosses my mind. And you always come back, tiptoeing towards me between breaths, and I do not notice until I find myself trapped in my bed, almost dead, almost alive, in a middle stage where there's a will, but it's lacking. I am a product of possessions, and every time that I find you suffocating, hurting, incessant, I shed skin and bones and turn little by little into ghosts of you. I know I will find you again because sometimes I miss you, because there's days where you give more than you take, and because I've spent so much time underneath this skin that is so difficult to exercise you without taking parts of me. I'll find you again. Of that, I am sure. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yes, Denise. Oh, that was so good.
That was outstanding, Denise. Thank you so much on behalf of everyone else that you made cry just now.
I'm telling you guys, this is beautiful. So thank you, Kit, for this idea. This was amazing.
Well, if it is, it's because of the people like you that helps fulfill that. Where can the people find more of you? Because I know they want to.
So if you guys liked what you guys heard earlier from my good friends, and you guys want to follow me, find me on Instagram as D9 Science. That's like Bill Nye the Science Guy, but D9 the Science Girl, I guess. But yeah, follow me there. You can also search me up on Facebook through Denise Science. And yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Denise. Oh, come on now, Finn. Don't. Well, you have one more reader to change your mind on that, Finn. Because coming up next is a far-flung friend of ours, all the way from Southeast Asia, in Malaysia, to be specific. I want you all to welcome to the stage Julian Matthews.
Hi.
How are you, Julian? Take the mic when you're ready.
Just the one poem. It's called Do the Math. My first box I played in was probably cardboard, something that contained milk tins from the neighborhood sundry shop. My mom would empty it and let me sit in it. In my imagination, it was a boat floating down the Ganges or the Amazon. I might have been light enough for my brothers to have lifted me in it, circling the round table in the hall like a Wright brother on a maiden flight, whooping with hands outstretched. My sister may have tied a string and dragged me around in it, like a train, choo-chooing as we rode along around Mom's kitchen, or dangerously down the staircase. We may have fallen, cried, laughed it off. No one would have died. When they suit me up and lay me in that last box, I won't get to choose its make or let my imagination run. The pallbearers will disperse the weight by 6, but the new lightness will be heavy for some. Do the math. In a marriage, 1 + 1 never adds to 2, and 1 multiplied by 1 is never 1. Human value multiplies with age. When you divide, you make things smaller. When you add, you overthink it. When you subtract, you negate me. We were never meant to tick each other off within boxes. We color our lives outside of them. We are equal only when our imagination soars on the shoulders of others, before us and after us. Both sides are never a balanced equation when falling or rising is a rite of passage. Do the math. 6 feet under, 12 feet above. The dirt between us is soil for the planting, or a box of it to cart away and claim your own. The grave robbers dream of treasures beneath. The cemetery dogs hope for pickings above. We only light the candles or place the flowers until the grave has been weeded and cleaned. Human folly is calculating the losses on either side. The sky smiles knowing clouds come and go by catching drifts. And blue is only one of its many colors. You are limited only by the box you pine for, child. All else is imagination. Do the math. Thank you. Julian Matthews, you can find me on Linktree/Julian Matthews. Good night.
Oh, thank you, Julian. Thank
Incredible.
you so much.
I love that.
It's wonderful that we get to hear voices from all over like yours, vital, great voices like yours. Okay. Well, this person got cold feet, but there's no pressure like peer pressure. So I want to know if Ben Bell wants to come up to the mic right now.
I guess I can.
I know you can. Let's do it.
Thank you. So I'm just going to say that I horribly failed the assignment. So what I'm going to share is probably not what the theme is, since I came in late. But you could find me on Linktree. It's Finn Bell. Also, you could find there on that link tree that I am a host of a original PGN programming on YouTube called The Poet's Lighthouse. So please tune in. Our guest this week is Rita Rusty Rose. And also on my podcast, which has the same name as my open mic on Thursdays, is Nicholas Paleologos. Oh, I can't pronounce people's names either. Nicholas Paleologos. Okay, so first poem I'm going to share is by Adrienne Rich, the floating poem Unnumbered. Whatever happens with us, your body will haunt mine. Tender, delicate, your lovemaking. Like the half-curled frond of the fiddlehead fern in forests, just washed by sun. Your traveled, generous thighs between which my whole face has come and come. The innocence and wisdom of the place my tongue has found there. The live, insatiate dance of your nipples in my mouth. Your touch on me firm, protective, searching me out. Your strong tongue and slender fingers reaching where I had been waiting years for you in my rose-wet cave. Whatever happens, this is. And I just want to finish just two poems because this second one is slightly longer. This next poem is from a poet who I met over this last year and a half, who I absolutely adore. She is the host of Poetry in the Brew in Nashville, Tennessee, Christine Hall. And she has a poem in the anthology, Sinew, called Bugged Out. Bugged Out by Christine Hall. Hours after the performance, I stand before the mirror in my dressing room and reflect. The dressing room is my bathroom, and I only use it to undress. My yoga teacher was an actor. He called our bodies costumes. I digress to redress my wounded ego, two to tango, two leads in the play. Hours later, alone, I interrogate each line for new meaning, pouring out every pore, squeezing out information, clues, cues, critique, catharsis, inserting alternate scenes, sequences, endings, practice as dramatic reenactments. Vindicated in this monologue and better prepared for the role of Frankenbug. You make me act like a monster in this loopy head movie where no one speaks to what's really happened. What we're thinking and feeling are the aces up our sleeves. My great-great-great-grandfather lost our hometown in a card game. There's a school name for him. They're living lessons in near-dead languages. Monster is Latin as any old gray notion. Monstrare, to show, what a show we put on. Monstrum, to warn, I warned you what could go wrong. I've got the bug to improv Frankenstein, mold and improve my face, recount his bride, intercut and erase, punch holes in my ears, 9 on one side with rings that were extracted by forceps when we rolled 3.5 times. The doctor presented the fragments in a test tube trophy. There were forceps in the delivery room and a cast of undergraduates awaiting baby. There are tweezers and I'm pulling the ace out of my sleeve to win this wager against Frankenbug inside me. Hours later, Our conversations still bugging me. I pluck out each of the bugs I placed earlier carefully as I lean over the sink and contemplate these long loops replay and repeat. Earworms rally through my brain. I exhume the remains of our exchange, perform the opposite of an autopsy, reconstructing the scene. Maggots feast and bugs crawl all over me. I am made of bugs. I'm Frankenbug, assembled to average the segments that were sentenced to premature deaths. Hours later, 2 actually. When I'm craving a cigarette, I rehearse for next time awaiting callback. My hand goes in again, and it's too late to play anything but solitaire. Show my face, get stoned enough, drunk as Baudelaire in Belgium. I level with my smoke-streaked eyes, framed in swollen red curtains, stuck in the spotlight. When I am ready to face you, as I am, then I will ace the audition. Thank you.
Thank you. That was tremendous. I declare that you have not failed the assignment. You, just like everyone else, has gotten an A+. And if you have anything you'd like to plug, you have your own little empire of mics and podcasts I happen to know. Would you like to show the people where those are?
Yes, they're all on my link tree. I can't remember all of them. That's why I put them in my link tree, because I'm so bad at this. Yeah, my link tree is Finn Bell. Find it. There's so many good things in there.
Okay, well,
it's like a maze.
Allow me to politely disagree, because you are great at this. But we come once again reluctantly to the end of another in a ridiculous streak of consecutive perfect Mondays. And there's only one way that we know how to close a Monday around here. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you're about to learn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dan the Man.
Thanks, Kit. Thank you, everybody. Well, in case you already know, I just reached my milestone, 800th episode. Let me give you a preview. Okay. Yeah, there it is. There it is. So, if anybody has seen my blog, 800th episode of Dan the Man's Weekly, please check it out. And before you do, there is the long list of shout outs. Some of you are mentioned. Well, Richie primarily on the first few, and somewhere Kit, Christine, Denise, Lee, Michael, Mr. Chizozimo, Brian, Ed Potastic, and among others. Oh, that includes you, Kremlin. All right, so yeah, some of the lists are mixed, but I got Richie on the first few. So yo guys, and it takes like 20 to 20, I think like 23 minutes on this one. So yo guys see my long list of shout outs. And yes, I sounded like Samuel L. Jackson's character, Mr. Senior Love Daddy from Spike Lee's joint and Do the Right Thing. This is one of my favorite parts. We love taking roll call. That's right. Yeah, that's how he samples the list of Brian McKnight, Biz Markie, Aretha Franklin, among others. But that was beautiful. That was nice. He did, and that's how. Yeah, and that's how I like to do the long list of shout outs, inspiring Samuel L. Jackson's character, Mr. Senior Love Daddy. We love taking roll call. And that's the truth. Ruth. Yeah, that's yeah. So, all right, please check out my 800th episode of Dan the Man's Weekly. All right, guys. Well, as you know, yep, Thanksgiving's this coming Thursday. And allow me to do once again cranberries. Yeah. Okay. But so yeah, thanks cranberries. Okay. I think you're familiar with this one. Cranberry Sonnet by Nancy Ness. The waves roll on and gulls above soar high. Lorn foghorns chanting Cape Cod's solitude. Excuse me. Sorry. The dunes at rest beneath the autumn sky. Envelope peaceful beaches once imbued. Bright foliage adorns the countryside, surrounding sun-dried bogs of cranberries. This summer tourists, verdant welcome tide, now boats majestic hues of burgundies. Synthetic lakes spew forth from each bog's moat, releasing berries for the harvest day, and buoyant crimson carpets lie afloat, in just abeyance being scooped away, to conjure up a sauce with ocean spray and have with turkey for Thanksgiving. The Cranberry Sonnet by Nancy Ness. And I think you're gonna like this one. It is called Cranberry Road by Rachel Lyman Field. I'd like to be walking the Cranberry Road, where the sea shines blue through the blistering firs, and the rocky pastures are overgrown. Pastures are overgrown, sorry, with bayberry brushes and junipers, where orchids of bent old apple trees go trooping down to the pebbly shore, and the clapboard houses are seawall turned, with larkspur clumps at every door, where there's plenty of time to say good day, where when friendly eyes from a window peer. Ooh, I like to be back on the Cranberry Road. I wish I were there instead of here. And quote, that is from wait, hold on a second. It says the poem can be found in at Aylesford, Jabberworks, and the other Cranberry, other stories about the Cranberry Isles. Right, published. Oh yeah. So that is yeah, that is from Rachel Lyman Field. Okay. And I think you might remember last year. I wrote about cranberries, so there it is. Cranberries, dark reddish, sweet harvest, like one of the ingredients for Thanksgiving and or Christmas, mainly for the holidays. Cranberries, a fruit, a snack, a sauce, a condiment, a decoration. Well, that's a look-alike, a cranberry reef or a cranberry beads. Why cranberries? Ain't no vocabulary you used in the military, but in the dictionary and the library. Cranberries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, cherries. Hell, you make it in a pie like a cherry pie or a lemon pie, pumpkin pie, cranberry pie. One big bakery series that includes time series, if not the World Series. Go D-backs. Cranberries reminds me of the band from back in the day, from the 90s. Their song Linger, Zombies. There was another song besides Linger, besides Zombies. There was
Dreams.
Dreams. Yes. Thank you, Kit. Yes, Dreams. Oh, it's a great song. And the lead singer, Dolores O'Deirdre, may she rest in peace. Well, cranberries used for food, used for decorations, whatever you use, cranberries. But and then another type of band of cranberries is the band. Yeah. Okay, and that's it. Yes. Thank you, Kit. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know. There was 3 songs: one Linger, one Zombies, and then there was Dreams. So that was the three greatest songs from the Cranberries. Yeah, and Dolores O'Deirdre, may she rest in peace. Yeah. Anybody like Cranberries?
I
Anybody?
like cranberry juice.
Yes. Ah, damn! I forgot about juice. You're right. Thank you, Abraham. All right. Okay. Well. All right, you guys. Guys, don't forget. Check out my 800th episode of Dan the Man's Weekly. Yeah, BWOMS has been mentioned. I always recap it. And don't forget the long list of shout outs. Yes. Some of you are mentioned. Kit, Richie, Kremlin, Christine, Denise, Lee, Mr. Tezozamog, the Generalissimo, Michael Sindler, Ed Potastic, among others, and Camlin as well. Yeah. And among others, some of you are mentioned. Some I may have forgot, but if just like I said, if I forgot somebody, please let me know. I'll make it up to them on the next regular blog for Thanksgiving. Okay, guys. So, well, you guys have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Give me 1 minute. Okay, yes, there it is. Read it and weep it. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Find the page Dan the Man's Weekly, and don't forget the hashtag. Find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. Subscribe my channel and watch. So. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I know the Cranberry Road by Rachel Lyman Field remind kind of like a Thanksgiving version, almost like Jim Blossom's Allison Road. Yeah, kind of almost reminds me of that. Yeah. Everybody know the song Jim Blossom's Allison Road. I lost my mind on Allison Road. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. All right, I'll see you guys next Monday. Back to you, Kit, and tell Richie to close it off.
Back to me. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. All right, thank you, Dan. Thank you for doing what only you could possibly do.
Yes.
This night has exceeded my wildest expectations. And I'm so grateful for all of you who played along with my little idea and really made it pop. This was an amazing night. I'm grateful for all of you. And I'm grateful that spoken language makes communication possible at all. And well, I'll see if our fearless Richie has anything to say to wrap this up, because otherwise we're at the end. So Richie, do you have anything?
I mean, I feel like I always have something to say, but most of the time, what's worth listening to? I'm kidding, mostly. I want to thank everyone who participated tonight. This is great, a birth of another tradition. I'm not going to really share anything right now, just for the sake of time. I know it gets late, so I appreciate every single one of you who came today and read and shared something, and we'll continue with this, obviously. Hopefully next year we'll have another opportunity to do another poetry potluck. If you guys have any ideas, this is a place for all of you guys. If you have any ideas for a fresh take on an idea, a show, a theme, message me or Kit, and we'll find a way to make it work for an online show. Lately, I've been doing that with in-person shows. I've been doing more poetry-related events. We had the Poetry Pachanga 1 and 2. We just had Memeja, which was an ekphrastic event based off of Denise's sister's artwork, Xochihuitzilin, and that was a whole lot of fun. We met some new people in person, which is really cool. And it was a really great reading. So if you guys have an idea for a showcase, whether it be online or in person, I want to help you guys make that happen. That's really what this is for and why we're here. So just follow us, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. Be on the lookout for more other events like jazz and poetry. That was a whole lot of fun. I'm looking to train or get people some experience performing with the jazz band. So I've connected with another group, and we're gonna try something new in a couple of weeks. Yes, Robin made it to the end. Yes. That deserves a congratulations, No, it's always great when you guys can stick around. As always, we do have a little after party. So if you guys are watching on the live stream, you can access the Zoom meeting through the sign up sheet. You don't have to sign up, you can just access it. But for the live stream and YouTube, we're gonna go and say goodnight. Thank you guys for watching. We didn't get to give shout outs to everyone who watched today, but as always, Sandy, Manuel, Andres, as always, Emily showed up tonight to watch a little bit. Emily Yanez. She's been really shy to join, so we're gonna have to encourage Emily to share some of her work. She's done BWOMS fresh cuts before though. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream, and we're gonna stick around for however long you guys want to stick around and chat the chisme, whatever, chat it up. My name is Rich for the